Hi, myself I'm R.Bhushan. Welcome to the program, The Great Bharat and the Great People. Good morning, Honorable Prime Minister Ji. This is the program for you and for the people of our nation. It will cover your per day efforts for the betterment of the nation and suggestion for you so that we can make this country more glorious in the whole world. Before starting the program, I would like to read the preamble of our constitution. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign socialist democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic, and political liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of individual and unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact, and give to ourselves this Constitution. So the most important fact of today's are basically I've taken this from the editorial of the Hindu newspaper. Beyond big game hunting, I've already said in my previous one important fact that India, Australia, US are going to basically make US and Japan are going to make a quadrilateral triangle, quadrilaterals against China, and they're planning to work together. So ahead of the quadrilateral meeting, Mr. Modi must be cautious about the bringing big powers into South Asia. By accepting an invitation to join the Japan proposed US endorsed plan for a quadrilateral grouping including Australia to provide alternative debt financing for countries in the Indo-Pacific, India has taken a significant turn in its policy for the subcontinent, explaining the need to invite our countries into what India has always fiercely guarded as its own turf. Foreign Secretary S. Jaishankar, S. Jaishankar was remarkably candid. Our neighbors also feel more secure if there is another party in the room. He said recently, giving examples of working with US on the transmission lines in the Nepal or with the Japan on a liquefied natural gas pipeline in Sri Lanka. His words contain a tacit admission that having India in the room is no longer confronting enough for our neighbors. The Quad pivot, as Prime Minister Narendra Modi heads to the East Asia Summit in the Philippines next week, where the first Quad meeting is likely to be held. It's necessary that India analyze the impact of this admission in all the relation. It would also serve as a useful exercise to understand why India has considered it requires other parties in the neighborhood even as it seeks to counter the influence of China and its Belt and the Road initiative. One reason is that as a growing economy with ambitious domestic target, India's own needs often clash with those of the neighbors. More connectivity will eventually be in more competition, whether it's for trade, water resources, or energy. Take for example the case of Bhutan, which is working with India's assistance. So Bhutan is working with India's assistance. Bhutan is working with India's assistance on its own goal of producing 10,000 megawatt hydro power by 2020. एक बार मैं फिर से रिपीट करूंगा. India's assistance, Bhutan, which is working with India's assistance on its own goal for producing 10,000 megawatt of hydropower by 2020. Even as Indian and Chinese troops were facing off the Doklam on the land claimed by Bhutan, a different sort of tension was claiming the attention of the government in the Thimphu. Bhutan is the only one country who do not have diplomatic relation with China. Bhutan is the only one country in Southeast Asia which is no diplomatic relation with China. The first indicator came on the May 8th when in his budget speech at National Assembly of Bhutanese finance minister about warned that the external debt is about 110% of GDP, of which is staggering 80.1%. 80.1% of GDP or 155 billion NU, that is $2.34 billion, is made up of the hydropower debt mainly to India. In April, International Monetary Fund World Economic Outlook that already put Bhutan at the top of the South Asia in terms of the highest debt per capita second only to Japan in all Asia for indebtedness. The budget figures the budget figures attracted much criticism for the Bhutanese government, and opposition taunts that Bhutan could become the Greece of South. Bhutan can become the Greece of South. New Delhi has changed its positions on the changed its position to Hambantota several times, going from the initial FT to disapproval of the Chinese interest to scolding of the viability of the project, to open alarm on the possibility of any Chinese PLA Navy installations in Sri Lanka southern tip. So this is the, and one more thing is this: in Sri Lanka, the US and Japan will now partner in India's effort to counter China's influence. But whereas India objected to Chinese Ocean, it will not able to object an increase in US naval warship and Japanese presence there. Writing about Myanmar in a new book, India turns east, international engagement and US-China rivalry, the former French diplomat Frédéric Guerrier says that emergence of the new powers like US, Europe and Japan has only increased multiple rivalries in the region. The next most important fact is the Salman effect. King Salman has overseen some of important changes in Saudi Arabia since the inherited the throne from his half-brother King Abdullah nearly 3 years ago. So January 23rd, 2015, Salman 79 takes the throne after the death of Abdullah, chooses nephew of the Muhammad bin Nayat as a deputy prince of the mix, and the prince of Muhammad means Salman, the defense minister. In June 2017, promotes Muhammad bin Salman, aged 31, to the position of crown prince. June 2017, Saudi Arabia and the several Gulf allies and Egypt severed diplomatic ties with Qatar, accusing it to supporting of the terrorists and being too close to Iran. Countries close air and maritime links and seal Qatar's only land border. So in this one, the religion Prince Muhammad pledges he is going to make a big change, pledges a country to moderate Islam, breaking with the kingdom's reputation for exporting Salafism, and rights of the women, Saudi women at the street in Riyadh. They are going to Mr. Salman, Mohammed bin Salman is going to make some changes over here. The last most important fact is बड़े बांधों में शुमार इंदिरा सागर व ओकारेश्वर बाद के बैंक वाटर पर टापुओं की बस्ती 10 करोड़ में तैयार हुआ सैलानी टापू। देश के बड़े बांधों में शुमार इंदिरा सागर व आकारेश्वर बांध के बैंक वाटर में मध्य प्रदेश पर्यटन विभाग ने टापुओं की बस्ती बना दी। इनमें से इंदिरा सागर 913 वर्ग किलोमीटर व ओकरेश्वर का बैंक वाटर 94 किलोमीटर वर्ग में फैला हुआ है। इसका मुख्य कारण पर्याप्त मात्रा में पानी व घना जंगल भी है। जंगली जानवरों की कमी नहीं है। बिजली बनाने के लिए इंदिरा सागर और ओकरेश्वर बांध बनाए गए। सरकारी रिकॉर्ड के मुताबिक 30 जून 2004 को बांधों के कारण हरसुद गांव डूब गया और करीब 250 गांव इसमें डूब गए। बैक वाटर में ऊंचे क्षेत्र के टापू में तब्दील हो गया। तब यह हालत है कि वो टापू एक बहुत ही अच्छा एक टूरिस्ट प्लेस बन गया है और लगभग हनुवंतिया जो जगह है 3 साल में पहुंचे इतने बहुत सारे पर्यटक, एंड इट इज़ वन ऑफ द 24 मई 2017 तक अब तक लगभग 35,000 सैलानी यहाँ पहुँचे। बिफोर एंडिंग द प्रोग्राम, so these are the important facts of today's. I would like to say please share and subscribe. Before ending the program, I would like to read the fundamental duties of our Constitution. According to Article 51A, it shall be the duty of every citizen of India to abide by the Constitution and respect its ideal and institution, the national flag and national anthem, to cherish and follow the noble ideals that inspired the national struggle for freedom, to uphold and protect the sovereignty and unity and integrity of India, to defend the country, render national service when called upon to do so, to promote harmony and the spirit of common brotherhood amongst all the people of India transacting religious, linguistic and regional or sectional diversity, and to renounce practices derogatory to the dignity of women, to value and preserve the rich heritage of the country's composite culture, to promote and improve the natural environment including forests, lakes, rivers and wildlife, and to have compassion for the living creatures, to develop scientific temper humanism, and the spirit of inquiry and reform, to safeguard public property and to observe violence, to strive towards excellence in all spheres of individual and collective activity so that the nation constantly rises to higher levels of endeavor and achievement, to promote opportunity for education to his child or ward between the age of 6 and 14 years. This duty was added by the 86th Constitutional Amendment Act 2002. So thank you so much. Wish you all the best. Please like, share and subscribe. God bless India. Thank you so much.